Hi, this is Maria. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're making a pencil case to hold all these watercolored pencils I just got. Before we get started, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you are notified when I post a new video. Let's get started. So Stampin' Up! Sells watercolored pencils. These come in 2 packs. I've got them all mixed up here, but these come in 2. And I like to keep everything together, so we're going to make a pencil box for these. For now, I've just been keeping them in a little container. And we're going to keep them there while we make this box. Alright, so we're going to be using Dainty Flowers DSP, which is the paper I showed the other day. This is a $50, if you buy a $50 purchase, you can select this paper to come for free. So we're going to use the back side of this because it's so pretty, and since we are using watercolored pencils, I thought this was appropriate. And Mossy Meadow for the actual box itself, because that is just going to go so nicely together. Alright, so let me get your cutting instructions on the screen. If you don't need to remember those, they will be on the blog. If you go to mariascraftroom.com, the blog will have all these instructions and written details. As well, if you look at the bottom, if you look at the video description of this video, of every video, you'll have a direct link to the blog that pertains to the video. So this is my scoring board, and I'm going to cut first. Always cut first and then score. So here's my cutting board, and I'm going to cut at 7 1/4 by 8, and I want to cut this way on the short side, 7 1/4, because I'm going to need room to cut the lid. 7 1/4 by 8 for the box itself. Okay, and then the lid is going to be 7 1/4 by 2. So this should be already 7 1/4 because we just cut that, and 2, and that will make my lid. Now we do have a scoring blade right here, but I prefer to use the Simply Scored. So that is what we're going to do here. Okay. All right, so here we go. The box first. This is the 7 1/4 side. On that side, we are going to score at 1, 3 1/2, 4 1/2, and 7. I'm going to rotate, and we need 1 inch to create the bottom of this box. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and score the lid now. So since I've got this tool out, here's my 7 1/4 piece, and I'm going to grab a scrap of the same paper and just lay it here on the side so that when I butt up to it, I'll get just a smidge bigger than the box itself. The lid needs to be just a tiny bit bigger. So we're going to use the same measurements. We're going to score at 1 plus a smidge, 3 1/2, 4 1/2, and 7. And we're going to leave that smidge there. We're going to turn it on its side, and we're going to score at 1. And this works wonders. So you'll see here in a minute. All right, that's enough for the scoreboard. Now we just need to burnish, and let's go a little closer here. Okay, so I'm just going to burnish all my sides here, and and then we will continue here. I just recently got all these watercolor pencils, and they are, I'm very happily surprised to like them. Simply because I'm not one for coloring. I'd rather stamp than color. But I am happy with those. And I need a better way to store them. So that's what we're doing here. All right, so I need some scissors. We are going to, so this is our box is going to stand tall, okay? So on the bottom side, we're going to cut up all of our little score lines. And this little piece, the 1/4 inch piece, we're going to take that one out altogether. Completely cut away. Okay, now we're going to miter the little tab. We're going to miter those, just take a tiny corner out of it. Both sides. Okay. Both the little tabs need a miter cut out. That does not need to be perfect because you are going to hide those. That just makes the folding a little easier. Alright, so now we are just going to adhere this together like so. And that is the beginning of our box. This is a very simple project. Alright, so we're going to take some seal. Let's use some tear and tape. Just because that's such a little area. And we need something strong. So you could use liquid glue here, but I don't want to wait for the dry time. So tear and tape will be just fine. If this was a bigger strip, this piece, then I would use the seal, and that would work just fine. And just put that together like so. And there is the beginning of the box. Okay, so now, before I close the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and attach my pretty paper on the front. Oh, we didn't cut the pretty paper. Let's do that now. Here's my cutting. Let's go back out. There we go. And we're going to cut the paper at, we need 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. So roughly, we want some pink in there, or do we want some blue and, let's do blue and green. So I need a long strip, 2 1/4. By 5 3/4. And that will go on the box front like so. And I need 2 1/4, which this is already at 2 1/4, by 3/4 of an inch. And that will be on the lid. Now we're done with the cutting. Okay. So let's go back in a little bit. Okay. Now we're just going to use my seal. You could use liquid glue. And the seal is strong stuff. And we're just going to go just a little bit above the bottom fold here, so that we have that about 1/8 of an inch on each side. And I'm leaving it short because the lid's going to come and cover this. There's no need to cover that. So that is it for the box itself. I'm going to go ahead and seal this. So I'm going to Put some adhesive on the small flaps. Don't stick yourself to the table. Fold those in and bring the lid closed, and then we'll seal the other side. And there's our box sealed. Now let's do a test run here to make sure this is fitting. This is 2 packs of watercolored pencils. And looks like they all fit in there. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll put that aside for a second. And let's build our lid here. So we've got, it's a 2-inch strip, so it doesn't matter which is your top and which is your bottom. They're going to be the same. So we're just going to go ahead and burnish these, same as we did the others, the box. I'm just doing it by hand, and then we'll do the we'll do this after. Just because the paper's so dark, it's hard to see where the lines are. It's easier to feel them than to see them at this point. All right, and then we're gonna do that one across. All right. Is that 2 inches? That is 2 inches. It just looks funny. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with the mitering and the cutting. Okay, and one more. And yes, you could do the mitering on all of the tabs, but I'm just not going to bother with that. All right, and we'll do little turn tape again here on the edge, the sealing edge. Close this up. Beautiful. And now this is the lid, so I want the folding to go across the top. So my paper, if you have directional paper or something with a pattern, you want to make sure you know which side is up and which is down. So this is going to fold and go across the top here. So I want the paper to match up. And that looks pretty good. So we're going to attach that. And then we can close our little lid box. Close the tabs and bring the one side over, and then the other side. Okay, now the ultimate test. Let's see if this fits. And there it is. Perfect little box. You can decorate the back if you want, but I think that's beautiful. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark it as my own. So I'm going to take my double oval punch, and I need a scrap of white and one of these scraps of the same green. So let's go ahead and stamp. We'll do Rich Razzleberry. I should have used one of these to bring out this color, but that's okay. We'll use Rich Razzleberry anyway. Now this, I had this made for myself, but you can use whatever stamp you like to use. I had that made a while back. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get this out with my oval. Line it up. This oval punch has come in really handy. Double oval. And then the green for a little scallop background. And there we have a little pencil box for all my watercolored pencils. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click that notification bell so that you're notified when I post a new video. And also, the direct link to the blog will be below this video in the video description box, so that you can find written instructions and all of the cutting directions there. Thanks for watching.